Hello, Guardians and Assassins. How's it going? So, yep, you guys guessed it. It's another time again for another Crucible school. Now, you guys are probably asking, what are we going to learn about today? Well, today we're going to learn a little bit about team efficiency, consistency, practice, and communication. Now, you guys are probably wondering how we're going to end up doing that, but you guys will see here shortly that I have an entire team with me. So, I want to spend a special thank you out to Crazy Gringo 923 for helping me out with this. He's actually one of my normal PvP partners, so that name should be familiar. Caspiris, which happens to be my wife, and a new clan member named Scary Skeletor 37. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Crazy Gringo and Scary Skeletor are actually related to each other. I'll be able to tell you a whole lot more once the match starts. I'm just going through my gear just like normal, just to make sure I have everything set up correctly the way that I want it to. Trying different things out on the Autumn Wind a little bit. Different sight, different perk.
Iron Banner control.
And yes, guys, if you're wondering, this is still within Iron Banner. So the first thing that I'm telling my entire team right here is basically go to C. Me telling them this, they know exactly what we're going to do. Or, well, in this case, this was one of the first matches that we actually played together as a team for the first time. So communication was a little bit shaky, and there wasn't a lot of it, to be honest with you. But that's alright, because Gringo was starting to communicate with me like normal. The wife started communicating with me like normal, which would be Caspiris. And it took a match or two, but then Scary Skeletor actually caught on, and he started communicating with us as well. And you guys will see the end result of that as a little surprise at the end of this video.
Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours.
Now, if you guys see here, what we're doing is we are basically changing in and out, so not one of us is taking all the damage here. So a guy might be shooting for, you know, a couple seconds, but not all the damage that he's shooting out of his gun is landing on the same Guardian. So by the time I jump back in, normally my health is already starting to regen. Now you guys got to keep in mind that other Guardian is still there on B, trying to make sure that we don't have any problems. So I decided to circle around, and if you notice, yep, they didn't even notice I was there. And then this guy has to pull out his colony because he's cheap. But that's okay. Everybody's allowed to be a little cheap sometimes, I guess. Basically, verbally communicating right now. We're actually talking through the headsets together, trying to roughly get, you know, a feel for how the other one moves, what positions are the other ones good in, are they going to push, are they going to, you know, sustain, which basically what are they going to do and how are they going to do it.
Good counter. Now hit them again. That's two.
So this first match is close, but we don't end up winning. But we are, as I said, this is the first time that all four of us are actually communicating together. So we're learning how each other's move, the other person's play style, so on and so forth.
Zone A lost.
Now, what we should be discussing this entire time is, number one, we should be moving more as a group, and number two, we should be discussing about flanking routes and things of that type of nature in order to be able to down some of these Guardians. You got to keep in mind, one, you know, if you're versus everybody else, you know you have to watch your back. It's a little bit different because you have to kind of figure out what level you do have to watch your back at, you know, playing with new people.
Zone advantage is yours. Zone B lost.
I potatoed all my shots, but I got close enough to take that Guardian out with one grenade. That grenade launcher is actually the play of the game, by the way, guys. And the pulse rifle that I'm using is called the Autumn Wind. What I made sure to do when I had the Autumn Wind equipped was I made sure to have two different mods on it for stability in my gear, making it very manageable and land a majority of the shots that I take with me. Now here I noticed that somebody popped their super, so I pretty much ran for my life. And where do you run when stuff like that's going on? You run right to your teammates, because one of them might have an energy weapon out and they will just melt directly through that super for you. Then you don't really have to worry about it. You can turn around and help them take care of whatever battle they were working on.
You make an excellent scout.
See, now Caspiros, for the most part, me and her stick pretty close together because, as I said, that is the wife, and she has played with me quite a few different times. She knows that I expect her to be somewhat close, so we can actually be shooting at the same people.
Advantage is yours.
She likes it. She gets points for the kill. I get points for the kill. It works out a whole lot better.
Zone C lost.
Now, Gringo has played with Scary Skeletor quite a few different times, so when Gringo started doing callouts, I'm guessing that's not the first time that that Scary Skeletor there actually heard them, because he picked up pretty quickly on what to do and where to go and how things were going on. It's very, very, very much of a big change when a group that doesn't PvP together all of a sudden gets together and starts PvPing.
Zone B lost. Your opponent has a power play.
Now we're all making sure to stay back to not stand in the grenade, and there I just told my other teammate to stay in the base. I'm going to push up the B, and I have my other teammate right behind me.
You captured Zone
And Green
B.
goes back there
Zone
battling
advantage
something.
Is yours. Zone C lost.
I hope you guys, out of anything, are mostly enjoying this gameplay, because this, as I said, this has about maybe 2 minutes left, and as I was saying, when playing with, you know, more of a group, it's very much of a challenge, and everybody's learning new things, because you have to be able to sit there and learn how to mesh together in the group effectively.
1 minute remains. Zone B lost.
If Gringo would have been about half a second quicker, he actually would have saved Caspiros, because they would have been able to team shot the other guy and drop him super quick. Keep in mind, guys, the entire point of playing with teams is to team shot. Why? Because it makes your job so much easier. Let's say you normally have to land 5 bullets on somebody to kill them. Well, now if you're team shotting, you have to land 2.
Zone B captured. 10 seconds. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost. Can't win them all.
Now, as you guys can see, that game was close, but it wasn't really... You know, I didn't have too much to say about it. That was the first game that we all played together. We were all in the same clan, obviously, as you guys can see. We didn't do too bad, but I feel if I pushed a little bit harder, I think we would have done a little bit better. You know, of course. But either way. Now this map's a little bit different. You guys know this map.
Iron Banner
We
control.
play on this map a lot, and as I said, with these actually bringing this group together, it's very, very different on, you know, the way that we go to communicate. Now, if you watch, we're all pretty much in a single file line. If you watch the radar, it's because we all know which way we're going and where we are going. Now, everybody goes to the exact same spot, and they automatically know, okay, start rotating around. That way, not one of us takes the bullets, because why take all the damage if you don't have to? So, I'll sit there, and as you can see, most of the time, whenever we are shooting, everybody is moving. I mean, you see me stand still occasionally, you know, to land some shots, but as you can tell, though, everybody's body is moving, though. It's because all of us are sharing the damage, and the regeneration that we have right now is so high that
Like Iron Lords.
most of the time, by the time we start getting hit again, we've already started healing, which is perfect. And you guys also have to keep in mind, we're also doing the same, you know, the same strategy as we had before. Hold A and B and kill them at C and just let them, you know, stay over there. Because we always know what direction they're coming from. We know what moves they're going to make next. As you can see, we can see where all the heavy is. Now here what I'm doing is I'm talking to them, and I believe I tell them all to basically keep them busy for a minute. Or, if not now, it'll be here in a second. Because they know that they're holding them down pretty good, but we know that they're being pretty sneaky, so this is taking longer than normal. Here I had to kind of jump around because I didn't realize that the fight ran over to me. So, here we go, and I told them to all keep them busy for a minute. And now, what I did is I ran to grab the heavy. Now keep in mind, guys, when you hunt or dodge, you go off radar. So there we go, I just went off their radar. And what I'm doing is I'm flanking here by going around the objective and then hitting them up on their side. Now guys, you gotta keep this in mind, okay? A lot of people were not expecting me to show up there, especially with heavy. Would I have pushed that way normally without heavy? Probably not. So even though I died there, you have to keep in mind, my teammates were still getting kills from the center section, and I just shook the other team up pretty good. So, if anything, they're at least shooken up right now saying, oh shit, they're coming to get us, which is perfect. Because in this situation, what I did is I had enough time to pretty much blind the one dude and throw the grenade, and then his buddy followed up right behind him. Now, if I would have had a teammate with me, we could have definitely won that engagement, but instead we ended up losing A. But everybody knows, because I told everybody, don't worry about B, we can get B back. Go after A. So, C was capped so we would have something to cap. You know, just something capped altogether. But the main objective here is I'm going to grab B, and then after this I'm turning around and going to grab A. At this time my team is moving to B so they can pretty much secure B and possibly come over here and help me as well. I didn't need too much help because that guy thought he grabbed ammo and he didn't, and he ran away from it, which is awesome.
This is the moment Iron Lords
Because that just gave me 4 grenades. So, Guardians and Assassins, if you like what you saw, go ahead, hit that like button. If you if you want to see some more out of my channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And if you really want to know what's going on the second it comes out, go ahead and click that bell. Hey, Guardians and Assassins, go ahead and enjoy the rest of this video. If you notice, we all just did a coordinated push together, and we did it quite well. Either way, it looks like I'll catch you, Guardians and Assassins, in the next Crucible School. And just an FYI, yes guys, you just witnessed my team mercy the crap out of this other team. But hope you guys enjoyed, and once again, see you in next Crucible School.
Zone A lost. clean victory. I wish the Iron Lords could have met you. They would have hated you. You'd push them to be better.